Know why the creation of the noisy chair happened? Well, people wanted to share their story, concerns, and being loud. Well, I'm here to listen, have an opinion, and talk to people. That's what this is all about. My name is Dave, aka DJ Dave. Love being part of a new journey with amazing people on my podcast. If I can change my camera, I'll show you I'll show you the studio.
Let me I'd love to see it.
It's just a bit of so that
cool.
So that's that side that's where the DJ is and yeah, it's a cool studio, but
wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, I got what Bob Marley there. I'm using. I normally use all vinyl, but this one is the SZ.
Okay,
SZ. So it's a 4-channel. I can hook up CDJs so that if some DJs want to come on, they can put their CDJs in there, or they can.
Pioneer.
It's a Pioneer, yes.
Pioneer, yeah.
Yep, and I can hook up. So I hook up my record box to it. It runs off Serato record box, and I can have another DJ's laptop plug in to the second port, so there's no stopping of the music. The transition's pretty smooth.
Have a nice smooth, Brilliant.
Yeah, so it's pretty good, and
wow, it looks like quite a big room as well. It looks like a big room.
Yeah, the studio is actually in my house, so it's in my basement, right? But nice. And I have 3 teenage boys, so they're sleeping. Everyone's sleeping, so it's not a big problem. But normally in the other room is where they have they'll have their buddies over. I built a bar, and whatever,
right. So, sounds fun at your house.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, my house is the fun house, so it's kind of cool. But, yeah, no, it's all good.
We'll come and visit you out there. Yes.
Oh no, you definitely will. We talked about just like quickly about having something. Maybe you guys coming over.
Yeah, we'd love to. Which part are you in?
We're in Ontario, so in Canada. So basically, the landmark Toronto.
Yes.
I'm right there. So that's the party central of Canada is Toronto. Yeah. So that's where everything's going to be. But welcome to the Noisy Chair Podcast, Season 2, Episode 206. I'm your host, DJ Dave, and with me as my guest in the studio virtually is something we don't see too often, identical twin female DJs. Please welcome Hansel and Gretel from the UK. Welcome, ladies, to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having us on. Thank you so much.
It's like we talked about, it's been a while since we landed a date to get you guys on here, and I'm glad that you guys are here. How are you guys doing today?
We're great. Yeah, it's a dull October day. Dull but warm. In the UK.
Yeah, dull warm. Yes. Okay. I like dull and warm.
Yeah. But yeah, we're it's Halloween, so we're pretty hyped. We've got a big gig tonight, and we're excited to have a little chat with you today. Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, it's amazing. That's amazing. And so you are having. We'll talk about your gig tonight.
Yes.
As well. It's so it's 8 a.m. here. We're recording, the podcast. And what time is it in the UK?
It's 1 o'clock. So
it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, very, very different times. Lunch for us, breakfast for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I might have to crack the Baileys out for my coffee, but we'll see how that goes. But it won't be one of those conversations. Don't worry. So
no.
It's awesome.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know what? We say it's 11 o'clock somewhere because 11 o'clock is like, it's where it usually starts, right?
Early, yeah.
Yeah. Us Canadians, we like to drink, early in the morning. So.
But give a Brit an opportunity to start at 11, and they will as well.
Yeah. They will. Okay. All right.
Maybe can't last as long.
You know what? Day drinking sometimes can be a little bit on the problematic side for me. Yeah. If I'm drinking, I got to pace myself, or else like 3 o'clock, I'm done. And it's over. It is over.
Early night, and you don't wake up feeling quite as bad.
Right? So, no, that's cool. That's cool. It's awesome. I'm glad you guys are here, and you listen. It's been, oh my God, years since I had you. I think it was like, during the pandemic, I actually had you guys on my live stream show to have you guys do a show for us. And that went incredible. Loved it.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
play-
awesome.
We play some of that music because obviously we've got all our but we plan the sets sort of vaguely 50, 60 tracks in, and we've got your set and we have played it numerous times.
Awesome.
Played it
I
out
love it.
in clubs. It's amazing. We loved it.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But to get you guys live, I want to get you guys down here, and definitely we'll work out what it takes to get you guys down here to do,
we'd love to.
a weekend gig.
Amazing.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, we had, like I talked offline, we were having a music festival, and definitely there's a couple of cool cats from the UK that we want to get over, and we want to have you guys over as well. So we'll work that out. Our team will talk, and we'll get that sorted out.
Fantastic.
It'd be awesome. COVID really
debut, that's for sure. Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, and it'll be the first time you guys have been coming across the pond, or you've been over here in North America?
Never been. So it's somewhere we'd love to go. So we've seen pictures. Yeah. And, people that we know have been, but it's definitely on a hit list country to go to.
You better make that hit list pretty quick, man. I tell you, Beautiful. It's and listen, nothing to say that the UK isn't. I mean, obviously, you guys had a heat wave, and it was hot, but it also was dangerously hot for some people that were living there,
Yes. And, Brits, it sort of goes to 15 degrees, and people have got their tops off. They can't down the street.
Yeah.
When it's like 28 to 30, you've got real. Yeah, people are sort of passing out in the street kind of thing.
Oh my God, I could imagine. And we have that down more southern in the US where it can get in the 40s, like Las Vegas can get in the 40s.
Wow.
And it's like, unbearable, and not that I want to be there, but you have to have AC or else forget it. The air conditioning has to work 100% or else you're done.
Yeah. You're frazzled up in a small corner.
Exactly. You just start withering away, right?
Yeah. So, you just need
my God.
pools. That's the thing. Like, have many swimming pools in people's gardens. No. It's just not built for that. Then we have hosepipe bans, so you can't even fill up a paddling pool or do things like that.
Oh, really?
It's tough when it gets hot, but we love it.
How about
sunbathing? Yeah.
How about beaches? Do you have any beaches down there? Good beaches?
We live in Norfolk, so Norfolk's full of them. East of England, and we're 35, 40 minutes from a lot of coastal area. It's beautiful.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's nice. Well, as long as you have that.
Yes, they're never warm enough to swim in. Not for us Aussies. No.
Oh, that's right. So you guys started off like the identical twins born and raised in Australia, right?
Yes. Born in Australia. We moved to the UK when we were about 4. So sort of went back every 5 years with holidays and things like that. We've got half our family are out there. So yeah, we're pretty connected to with Australian passports too.
Wow, dual citizenship. So that's excellent. Now, Australia for us, it is a 27-hour flight. What is it like for you guys?
It's about 20, 22, 23, yeah. It's long.
Oh, shit. So it's the same almost.
The other side of the world.
Yeah. Fair point. Yeah. Man, I can't. There's no way I can sit in a plane for that long. There's no way.
A lot of times, various ages. You stop, don't you? You can stop in sort of Hong Kong or somewhere you do a stopover, but we went on a gap year when we were 18, just for a whole year out there. And obviously when you're 18, the only thing you can do in a plane is to drink. So we just basically slept, drunk and slept the whole way.
Drink yourself to sleep, exactly. Oh, yeah.
We did a good 12, 13-hour stint where we both just passed out and slept. And we woke up, we're like, way to do 5 hours to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's okay, though. Like if you sleep, if you sleep at 13 or 10 to 13 hours and you wake up, you're like, oh, I'm halfway there. I'm good. You're in a different country, different time zone. You're having breakfast somewhere in the world. I think the main thing would be taking children there. That's our brother's just taking his 2 little babies there on the plane. That's tough. Oh, that's woo. You got to walk around at least. You got to walk around the plane, with the kid and
always put as many films on as you can.
Film, gum, candy. Oh yeah, feed them everything.
Dose them up on anything you can. A little sort of rum every now and then.
Hey, listen, I may have done that to my kids, so just I'm not a bad parent or a bad father, but
behind you, not just for you then.
Right. It's oh yeah. Oh, I listen when they had when the kids had like a toothache or something like that.
Mm.
My parents used to, my dad would get the rum and put a little bit of rum on your gums and you'd be out cold, right? So hey, if it works, it works. It worked for the old school.
Yet to try that with Coral, but maybe I will.
One for you, one for mom, one for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great. So okay, so you guys are born and raised in Australia. Whereabouts in Australia?
In Sydney, just outskirts of Sydney, so not right in the city, just in a really pretty little suburb called Leichhardt. It's beautiful.
Right.
We've been back there many times. It's changed since we were born there, and we walked past our house that we were actually born in. So we were born.
Oh, did you really? Oh, yeah. That's great.
Yeah, our mum didn't know she was having twins, so that day on the 15th of August 1990, she was, all natural, no scans really, and thought she was having one baby, and had me, and then only 2 minutes later, the midwife said, "You're having twins. You're having another baby." So I think I was no name for a while, because there was no, they weren't expecting me, and no surprise there. But
amazing. No, that's beautiful. That's really good. That's really good. And you guys, and obviously both beautiful and healthy, and which is great. And are your parents still with us?
Yes. Yeah, they are. They both live very much still. They live about 5 minutes from each other, but they both live down in Surrey. So from where we live now, they're about a 3-hour drive, which isn't too bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's not bad. I always associate Australia with, and I'm not a big reptile and insect guy, and I know everything is like multiplied like fucking 10 times the size. Like a fly is like this big, and and actually, the smaller the insect in Australia, the more sort of deadly, particularly the insects. Oh, it is, eh?
Aren't that big? I think there is also, part of it. When we worked with horses out there, and there's dangerous things, but you kind of have to just get on with life. Otherwise, everything that flies or walks or you end up living very scared. So I think got to be relaxed. They are deadly things, but don't walk out in the bush with bare feet. Shake your boots before you. Oh yeah.
Oh man! Or lift up your toilet seats. You don't see a snake inside the.
Or shake your bed out before you get in it. That's another one. Oof,
Okay, you know what? I'm done with that. That forget it. That's not me, man.
We're putting you off, aren't we?
Yeah. No, listen. I don't mind. I don't mind the small little bugs, whatever. But when it comes, like you see the big spiders and you see them in the corner of the room, and they're like they built this big nest, but to most people it's normal or a big Burmese or a python slithering around, the crocodiles, and you know what? I don't want to worry about where I swim at all.
Yeah, the swimming that's a big thing for us. I think we went to Perth, and we, there was a cage bit where we were like, why is that there? Asked the local, and they just said that's where you can swim. Don't swim past that bit of netting, because past that there's sharks and stuff. We were like, we're not going to go in the water. We're just not even going to go in there at all. That's enough for me, thank you.
Oh my god. No, sorry, that's not for me. Even if we had a gig down there in Australia, I don't think, you know what, maybe a gig I would go down there, but I would not go. And I know it's beautiful there. My brother-in-law's been down there, and and I had an employee that worked for me that lived. He went there for a year, worked there with him and his girlfriend, just packed up and left, and then they came back, and it was like a rude awakening of what was down there. Like the place is beautiful. Like
it is beautiful.
Crime wise, I mean, some parts yes, but for the majority part, crime is not really an issue down there. No one carries guns.
You feel really safe. It's a lovely place to live if you can sort of forget about the things that potentially might kill you insect wise. It's beautiful. Crime wise, you definitely feel slightly more nervous probably walking around in London than you would.
Oh wow! Okay.
In Australia, I'd say.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. So now you guys. So you guys packed up when you were 4.
Yes, parents moved over here with us, and we've lived in the UK ever since. But as we say, we've been back for gap year. We go back sort of, we try and
Holidays.
go back as regularly as possible. It's been a while since we've been back, but because it's so far and it is expensive to travel.
Flights have gone through the roof as well.
But, we could also move there. We've got passports and family, so we could move there if we ever wanted to.
We're just not sure. We used to want to have a vision of moving there, but we're actually now not sure that it would be the best thing for our career, potentially. We think maybe even the UK is, UK and traveling outside of the
Europe
UK
and things like that might be better.
For the DJ and the house music.
Yes, and house music is pretty big in the UK, and all around Europe. And when I've interviewed great artists that live in the UK, like Booker T, Alexa Tipple, Daniel Morgan. And even, I don't know if like there's a great promoter, house music promoter, more of the acid underground, Maya Stone. She's she is amazing. And I was talking to her, but the house music scene back in the 80s, 90s were really, really big, really big. And then, like everywhere else, I think I don't know if it, started to, we started to lose that whole house music vibe back in the 80s and 90s and the scene. Yes, correct. And it's like, I don't know how it is back in the UK right now, pre-COVID. But let's take it back a bit. And when you guys were just like, little wee things, and like, did you guys fight a lot growing up? Was there big competition?
We didn't
never ever fought as babies, as toddlers, as teenagers, as adults.
We meet some other twins, occasionally, and we're yet to sort of meet twins that are so similar to us and alike and actually do everything together. They're like, oh, do you not get sick of each other? Nope. We went to the same university together. We studied the same things. We
DJ together.
Excellent.
We pretty much do everything together, other than partners.
We don't have the same partners. Just to clarify to everyone on here.
Yes. 2 partners, not 1 partner sharing together.
We have one each.
One each, yes.
Yes. Okay, that's good. There's a line where you draw the line at that point.
Draw the line
somewhere. That was it.
Well, hey, listen, man. You know what? I'm sure it goes around. But and how did music play a part in your lives? Who inspired you guys to be in the music?
We've got to start with our parents, really. So growing up in Australia, music was just on constantly. We had Van Morrison,
Sade, like a lot of soulful that's
things.
Sort of where our soulful style comes from.
And it just was sort of built into our brains to just love music. So when we were about 14 and going to like little parties at school, we used to make little tapes and take it with us and be actually provide the music.
People at school used to know us as the people that would bring the music to the party. We used
both you guys together.
Always.
And we'd make CDs and then bring compilations, and we'd bring a whole little book of compilation CDs, and the party would be sorted all night long. So it started off very young, and it was we went through the whole genre of we liked the club music, R&B and stuff like that.
We sort of went through a stage of sort of liking EDM as well. We kind of went to festivals and we liked the really heavy stuff.
That was like the starting of our house music. Although we'll have to add in that our mum likes and loves, still does, trance music.
Psytrance.
Wow.
So sort of mixed in with the Van Morrison, Sade, Psytrance type of thing.
Yes. Okay. Big up to your mum. Big up to your mum. That's awesome. Trance.
Wow. Still goes to London and parties. And she loves it.
I love it. Bring her to Canada when she comes down.
We will. Bring her with us.
Come. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. I love that. So music was a big part. Like, I mean, it's almost as if, you had your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but, a side of music, because it's always part of your daily routine and so forth.
It was never not on. If it wasn't on, we'd feel something wasn't right in the house.
Part of our DNA.
Still is now.
At school, we wanted it on in the lessons. Like, why is there no music on? While you're studying.
Exactly. Why is it so quiet in here? You know.
And during university, we used to do all our essays and our dissertations and stuff. We studied equine, so we didn't do music at uni. We did horses. Okay. That was like the fork of our careers was music. We then took on instruments. Okay. Hannah's grade 7 clarinet. I went to grade 8 with flute. That was the kind of musical element of us understanding, music now. Theory. And I think with production, it's going to help us 100%. Okay. Because we know
for sure.
Theory. Yeah, and we were part of a band, and we travelled to Italy and Spain with them. That was a big orchestra. Good. So very different to house.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is great. I mean, the experience of you traveling with the band and learning different musics. And then, so this is going back university days. So you're in your like 18, 19 or in the 20s?
This was before the orchestra was when we were about 15, 16. Yeah. Okay. Then we went to Australia when we were 18, 19, went to university. And then through university, the DJ thing was there, but we didn't aspire to do it as a career. Okay. We used to watch videos, and we still provided the music for all the parties, but it was really, wasn't it, when we were still in the mindset that horses was our career. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which
and
we
to
then
this day, right?
To this day, yeah, we still do bits with horses alongside the music, and the horses have been amazing. I know it sounds strange, but we found a lot of our music whilst being with the horses, riding or, just being outside. It keeps you fit and healthy. Yeah. There was a lot of our sort of, our passion for the music came from just feeling good with the horses. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, that's great. There's a great trigger point, great, inspiration, the inspiration of the horses being outside. And and to me, that is a great point you just made because, we have, we live busy lives, with children or with, or just work wise. And to me is that we wake up and we're going a million miles an hour as soon as we wake up. Our head is like fucking going crazy. We gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta get this done, do that done. Right. But when you're outside, and the fresh air, and you got the horses, and you clear your mind up, and you put aside all that, whether it's good, positive, whether it's negative, whether it's whatever, and then you focus on, and music is a big part of your mental health. And to me, that's great, because mental health, just being mentally cleansed and clear with the music, is really a big part of my life as well. And I like to hear that as well. The horses are just these amazing animals that kind of have this. We've got this understanding with them. They don't talk, so it's lovely, and you can just listen to music and be around them. And and then riding through Norfolk where we live is just absolutely incredible for riding out in the outback. And you can just canter through and just forget about everything. Excellent.
Which
that's amazing. Good. Now, the horses are they? I mean, I know they're beautiful animals. Are they really smart?
Yeah, extremely smart. They're extremely smart. We actually work with Arabian horses, which we think, in our opinion, are the smartest. They're so smart. They're not big like the thoroughbreds. They're small and very, characterful and extremely smart and clever and built for the desert. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. That's great. And when did house music, or when did you get into both start DJing? Was it just one of you guys started, or I know both of you together had that, you provided the music for the parties. But when did the DJing start, where you actually you brought your equipment over?
Yeah, so we moved to Norfolk 5 years, about five, 6 years ago. To continue, we worked in Hereford for 6 years with horses, Arabs. We then moved to Norfolk. We changed jobs, and that was also horses. And when we got to this job in Norfolk, that was when we really were like, we need to follow this passion that we've now got of, going to festivals, wanting to be on that side of the DJ booth, not this side. And we just typed in Google DJ lessons in and around the Norfolk area. And up popped this guy that teaches DJ lessons in his house. And there we go. Off. That was it. That was enough for us. We booked our first lesson in and
both did it together, of course.
He said, "Oh, there's two of you. You sure you don't want to do it separately?" We were like, "No.
We actually want to be a duo, so teach everything that we know together."
And he made a point when he taught us. It was half an hour long.
He made an extra little time for us.
He just said, "Two of you together. It's like I'm teaching one person. It kind of goes through one of you and both of you, and you just know what to do."
We both understood the same things and didn't understand the same things.
Sometimes not.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Is like, did one of you get it and the other one didn't, and then vice versa?
Things, if one of us doesn't get it, neither of us get it. It's not like one of us knows more than the other. We're really similar in that sense.
But we sit down, we work it out slowly together. And we did. I think we did 6 months with him.
6 months on and off lessons, didn't we? Yeah,
once or twice.
Once
a week. And then bought our own decks. Our partners actually bought our first set of decks.
Yeah,
awesome.
Small little controller that was plugged into a laptop.
That was it.
And we grew out of those very quickly and moved on to like a bigger controller. And now we've got CDJs. So
right. Yep. That's awesome. I mean, that's really good. Now there's DJs who who got into the digital side pretty quick.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, on, there's the vinyl side. Have you guys played on vinyl before?
So our teacher
during the lessons
as well, we did sort of dabble in it, and it's definitely something that we want to do more of.
We actually really enjoyed it. It was just we were at that point that we were like, do we buy vinyls or do we buy things that we will find in industry club standards?
But it's something we want to,
and our decks can have the ability to put vinyls on. So it's definitely something we'll do.
Oh, perfect! I think you, I think you should get into it. It's it definitely is an old school way that I mean, I'm old. I'm 53, so it's like we learned off of that. We learned off of the the vinyl side of things, first, and then because digital wasn't around, we didn't have controllers back then. We just had, and then Serato came and Tractor came, and so that's where my collection of vinyl is put away safely somewhere, and then now just with the vinyl side of things, it was tough bringing the 1200s to the parties and then lugging all this stuff around, because I used to lug crates of music when I was younger. And carrying milk crates of records and it was like, but we loved it. We did it. But now it's like, you can roll a controller in or plug your USB stick in a CDJ at a club and you're all set to go. So it's the big transitions of what from old school to what it is now.
Is there a lot of vinyl still out, in the clubs near you and stuff? Are people doing a lot of vinyl sets still? Yeah, there's
DJs that still spin 45s, real 45s, the small ones.
Yeah.
The 70s, the funk, the 80s, and they're still, that's all coming back. There's certain DJs that will play that, and it's awesome to hear that. It's awesome to hear, guys or ladies that still play. For instance, this female DJ, she's awesome. Her name is Killa Jewel. She's from Montreal, about 5 hours from here, and she's, the R&B hip hop. She's a turntablist, so everything's all on vinyl, and she does her crazy, where they go crazy on the vinyls. It's awesome.
She's doing everything.
But so there's different styles of it, and to go back to you guys in the style of house that you play, but first I just want everyone to know who is who in the Hansel and Gretel.
This is Greta.
So Gretel,
and Hannah, Hansel.
and was that, and how did the name come up?
Well, as we said before, our mum didn't know she was having twins, so Greta was the name. There's a village in Australia called Gretaville, and when she was pregnant, she was on the back of a motorbike, and they drove through the village, and they both tapped each other, and they got off at wherever they were going, and they both looked at each other and said, "Gretaville, that's a cool name, Greta." So that was my name, and Hannah
Mine
wasn't.
was just, I think, They didn't know about Hannah. My dad liked Hannah, and then sort of my mum was in hospital, and do you like Hannah? She was like, yes, love it. So it wasn't anything to do with Hansel and Gretel.
Right.
So, but when we were thinking of names, it suddenly, I think we were with my mum at the time, it suddenly popped up that, you know, we wanted something catchy, and, you know, Hannah Greta Verkerk is a very long DJ name. We kind of can't think of what else we would have called ourselves if we hadn't called ourselves Hansel and Gretel. So it works, and it's people know us, you know, it's
oh my God.
On a lineup, it's easy to know.
It's right on a DJ flyer, on a lineup. It's great to see it. It flows well. I love it. You know, it actually works really well for you guys. You know, our plan one day, it's a goal of ours, is to actually run either a festival stage or a whole festival and have it Hansel and Gretel themed. So we've got all ideas of the gingerbread house being where the decks are, and I mean, you could do a lot with the visuals of that. Just do it. For sure, absolutely. I love the entrepreneurial style of you guys. You're very, you know, you're thinking, you know, how can we make this work? And you know, not just like, not just, you know, oh, I play music every day, you know, like you're really into, you know, and I talk about that now, is like, how are you guys, you know, getting booked? You know, are you doing your own hustling? Do you have your own agent? Do you do your own, like, how does that work for you guys?
I mean, we're always trying to, you know, expand ourselves, better ourselves as an artist. And we recently joined something called Under the Booth. It's like a DJ coaching academy, and, you know, it's paid. It's you know, a good price, but it's just helping us grow ourselves as an artist, and you're learning about social media and all those things. And I think all of those things, plus our music being unique, plus the fact that we're twins, you know, all of those things help us with our gigs. One thing we do a lot of, and, you know, you can write emails, as many emails as you want, to people asking for gigs, but we try, each gig we go to, we just try and network and be there and actually support the night as it is. And often, I mean, gigs breed gigs for us. We go to one gig, that is a knock-on effect to another gig. Someone in the crowd runs the night. You know, a lot of our gigs are just off the back of other gigs. Which is a very organic way of doing it. We like
absolutely. 100%. You said the exact word. Organically is great. You know, you have, and the networking you probably guys do as well is crazy. I'm sure that, you know, even social media, like with the social media works, it is bonkers how it just spreads like wildfire, you know, and it doesn't cost you anything. Social media is free. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it may be. Do you answer all your questions, all your fans personally, or do you have someone that runs your social media feeds? We do all ourselves, and because there's two of us, we feel that you know, one person having to do all that, it is a lot. It's almost a full-time job. You know, at some point we've talked about, you know, finding a manager or finding someone that can help us get gigs, and that may happen at some point. But for now, that will happen. That will happen. We've always been told that it should happen, that they should come to you rather than you go and look for them. We're waiting for that person. Hello. And also the other thing was lockdown. Lockdown was a huge. We still get gigs off the back of lockdown, people seeing our live streams. We had one the other week, and we just always like to ask, where did you know about us? And he was like, oh, I followed you through lockdown, loved all your live streams, and that was where the booking came from for next year, 2023. So it was amazing for us. Oh, yes. we did 40. I think, you know, it was like we did 40 gigs, but all through the world. We sort of tried live. You would never have expanded to that many people if lockdown didn't happen. As awful as it was, it was amazing for us. That is great. That's a great pivot to the DJing in a live scene is be able to the live stream side, but yours expanded even further with you know, different people that are including yourself, asking it. For sure. That's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you guys on that part, how it really happened, because the lockdown, you know, as messy as it was, that messed up our world, you know, it you know, on the positive side of things, you know, yes, we introduce a live streaming where we can live stream parties and people can hear you and see you guys still, but yet you've expanded where you did more, which was awesome. And like, you don't have to go anywhere. Just right in your studio and broadcast to wherever someone's having a feed or a raid or whatever it may be. And I think it's fantastic. And I'm looking at your feed on Facebook, and what I really love is how did you get hooked up with a sax player playing in your set? How did you tell us a bit about that?
This guy, he's a good friend of ours now. He happened to be playing for a friend of ours on a lineup in Norwich four years ago, and we played straight after. And the sax guy was still there, but not playing alongside our set. So we just stood back for a minute, and straight after our set, he walked up to us and said,
I need to play with you too.
Your music is, we need to do something together. And ever since then, we've done little collaborations with him where we go to his
He's
studio.
Extremely talented, and
he's got a big green screen
amazing
behind, and we record a 30-minute mix, and he just goes away. He doesn't record the saxophone live with us, so he'll look at the music after and then just noodle over the top of it. And we love the fact you'll probably hear if people want to listen back to some of the recordings, but we often play our deep house stuff with him, which isn't generic to what you would hear a saxophone, in a club, say, which is very mainstream commercial. Especially around this area.
Yeah, we definitely put him to the challenge with some of our music. It's chordy, it's deep, it's melodic, but he does what he does.
We love it.
It sounds amazing, and it flows well with it flows well. Yeah, and I think you had like the one that you had on Facebook, which is the the Halloween clip you did.
That's our most recent one. We recorded it a couple of weeks ago. Last week.
I think it's great. Like, you guys are having a fun time. He's playing the sax. You're in a green screen, little ghoulish, Halloweenish, which was kind of cool. I like that. And I think that whole sax vibe with a melodic, a deep, even a soulful, even a little bit of soulful in there would work perfectly fine. And it flowed well with that clip. I loved it.
We've done actually. So off the back of kind of doing that with Phil, we've actually we did a couple of high-end gigs with him in the summer where we actually performed live with him. And it worked. It was amazingly
fantastic.
Really well.
Oh, that's great.
People with whining and dining, it works very well because it's not intrusive.
Wasn't it? Oysters champagne with deep house and saxophone. It was
Nobody would ever mix that together.
No, not at all. And amazingly, if you even play something with a bit more of a beat, the saxophone, it's amazing what a saxophone can actually do to bring it back to chilled vibes. It's a great combination.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely 100%. I continue on that, man. That's
we've got loads booked in with him. We're going to do a slightly more commercial one with him for the commercial gigs, and then we've got a Christmas special where we wear glitter and it's all Christmassy. So
for sure. I love it. I mean, this is that is a new style, and keep going with it. That's what I would say. Keep going with that. Yeah, for sure. So who is your favorite DJ? We'll start with Hannah.
Who's my favorite DJ? So probably currently is a minimal tech DJ, Chris Stussy. I don't know whether you've heard of him. He basically DJs in Amsterdam a lot, and his socials have got videos of him DJing. His music it's that deep tech with melody, vocals.
He plays to massive rooms, but his music is melodic and deep, which is what we love.
We play a lot of his music in our sets.
It's incredible to see that many people dancing to that music, because it's not the hands in the air, huge, big. It's amazing.
He produces as well, and I don't think there's a track that we don't like of his. So check him out, Chris Stussy.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna check him out. I haven't heard of him at all. I know there's a bazillion DJs out there and producers that we haven't heard of.
Yes, and I'd probably say Kerry Chandler. He's obviously would know. his music we play pretty much every song of his, but he's always live mixing, so you can watch his live streams and his music. He's extremely talented, does it all raw, plays the piano whilst DJing.
Oh yeah,
someone playing an instrument. He's
very good,
and it's just his sound is raw, and probably a lot of it is on vinyls as well. In fact, some of our music we can't find on digital, and it's on vinyl. So we do need to start the vinyl thing.
Yeah. Have you guys
vibe as well?
It's extremely soulful music.
Oh yeah. Well, you mentioned like artists like Sade, and she was like Sade, and then you'll see Prince in the back of my wall there. One of my favorite artists, Prince and Sade. They're both super talented. I know she's coming out with her new album now, which is going to be great. She's coming back into the scene, which is awesome. But have you met your DJs that your favorite DJs? Have you met them?
We've never met them.
We've not
met them.
We need to. Amsterdam do like a big festival. ADE, they do a big event, and that's one of our goals for next year. Is to get ourselves down there, meet the DJs that we love listening
so
to.
much. And play a lot of their music. We support them.
We're always tagging them in Instagram. So hopefully, I think we're slightly, they know of us, but it's different when you meet them in person. It's definitely a goal of us to try and hunt them down.
Stalkers.
And potentially maybe be on a lineup with them one day. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Like you just gotta keep tagging them, keep playing their music and supporting them, and then it will come, because they'll probably say, oh my god, they play my music. So it will happen. I'll definitely will happen.
And the main thing is when we start producing our own music, it should hopefully, there's record labels with both of those people that we love, so that they're obviously huge hit list labels, but you've got to start somewhere. And hopefully our sound will resonate with theirs, and who knows what will happen.
Right. So you guys also dabble in music production as well?
We feel like we've been saying for a while we're sort of dabbling in it, but it's at the minute we're putting quite a lot of time into the learning process, and it's starting to click for us, which is amazing. I'm sure all producers will know that it's so difficult at the beginning. But it's like learning to DJ. It comes naturally after a while if you keep on it. So that's what we're going to do.
Good for you. That's really good. And I think everyone should have, when I say dabble, I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean, if you put a lot of time into it, which is, it'll pay off. And, I think that every DJ should, or any music artist should get into production. It just enhances their ability to understand the stems, understand, all sorts of, the way music is, and it creates a style for you. Every DJ or producer will have a style of sound or music in their sets, I think, I agree with you. I think everyone should at least try it or do it. I'm not a huge music production guy. I'm like a Chandler where I'll mix everything raw on the fly. I'll do, that's where I'm more that way. And I never, for instance, if I take an acapella and I'll mix it with a, nice housey beat to it, and it turns out pretty good, or it's a good mashup, I'll play it in my sets, and people, you say to yourself, should I record this? But it's like, I just play it, and I'm not out to, to put music out there. I just want to play music. That's why
I play good music.
I just want to play, I'm more of I'm a house DJ, but I also play open format. So whatever the company, whatever, I do a lot of private gigs. So for corporates, I'll do also my own little, every 3 months we have a local bar that, and I'll go and I'll throw a party there just for our crowd, and our crowd is from the 80s to now to Latin to reggaeton to whatever it may be, everything, right? So I guess there's parties that cater to that style of genre music is what I'm trying to get at, and I love playing and fulfilling that, but yet there's also a time where we have house gigs, we have gigs that are okay, man, we're gonna get like 3-4 DJs that play beautiful Afro tribal house, and
nice.
and that's so it's great, excitement and a diversity of music genres throughout our style here, and like, to go back to you guys, are there other gigs that like, when you play gigs, is it more just housey, or do you see open formats or EDM?
I mean, this summer in particular, we played a lot. We did a few weddings, a lot of weddings. We did a couple of private parties, some birthdays, and none of them were really house music at all. So this year was probably the most that we did of that.
We think it's actually been great for our mixing skills, because you get very used to sticking to the same genre. Suddenly you're out in your comfort zone. You're mixing Bon Jovi with
ABBA,
right? Yeah, absolutely.
We had a great time. The weddings is actually something that we're happy to do. Just because it's a great day for everybody and good fun. Everyone's on the dance floor.
It's different as well. We've got our equipment. We can bring it with us. It's something nice. It wouldn't be our sole thing to do, but it is lovely to have the two things as well. And obviously our sax guy. We play much more commercial music to what we would normally play in a nightclub, which has also expanded our mixing skills.
Yeah, and then we're also now doing a bit of there's a chain called All Bar One in the UK, and they're all over the country.
Like high-end cocktail
bars. Most people are eating and dining and drinking, and so we're doing a lot of regular gigs. And you're not the center of attention. You're plonked on the side somewhere.
It's background music.
You're playing extremely very chilled music, just
dinner music,
lounge music.
Yeah,
so that's adding to our spectrum of diversity of music wise.
Amazing. And how easy is that gig? You're back there, no one's looking at you. You're right
on your feet, but it's easy musically because
of course.
You play, you don't need all this fancy quick mixing stuff because people are chilling. They're just getting into it. You don't need to suddenly change the track.
There's also two of us, so one can go and have a sit down. Toilet breaks are very easy.
Right. Yes. A glass of wine, more wine for sure.
5 hours goes very quick.
Yeah.
It does. It is like, when I say it's easy, it's obviously not super easy, but it is a great gig where and people are coming in there. Like, I love those style of gigs where we have like pizza bars, like high-end pizza bars and cocktail bars, and you come down and you do your thing, and it's like you might find that one person who has a club in another part of the city, and it's just a great way to network, and I'm always part of that. And I think I always look for that. Like, I don't go to a gig and I go to a gig and I play. I'm very passionate with playing, but I look at the room and I see who's around, and who peeks their eyebrow up when you play a song that they never heard before, that sort of stuff, right? So you always want to, right? You always trying to want to network and
finding the foot tapper in the crowd.
Yes, right. And then the volume goes up a little bit, and like, we know how it works, right?
Yeah, we do. We know how it works.
Of course. Well, that's good. Yeah, and especially with the different genres of music, they have different BPMs, so your mixing skills, have to be on par, and it is definitely great, a great lesson to learn or teach yourself. You're doing from like an 82 or 84 BPM on a Latin to, you going up to like a 95 on a R&B hip hop to a 122 on a faster track or a remix track. So it's kind of cool, and to get into that transition.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, where do you so you are part of a record label as well for your production stuff?
Not yet.
Not yet. We both said that at the same time. Not yet. We're getting stuff down on Ableton, because for a while it was we were sort of just learn, and gradually as it's gone on, we've realised let's just make some noises that don't sound like a 1-year-old's done them, and things are starting to sound. Our plan is to kind of, before maybe the new year, get a basis,
a
skeleton. We've got loads of friends that are they're ready. They're sat there waiting to help us with it.
Oh, excellent.
With the sound, yeah.
And we can go to people's studios. People can come to our studio. This is in our house, so we've got a bit of a plan with it.
Yeah.
And we'll send it to you.
It's starting to make sense, which is lovely.
Yes. Good. I'd like to have those. I'd like to get those. I don't want to be greedy, but I like to play your tracks here. So whenever you're ready, send them over, man, for sure.
Definitely.
For
sure. I was like pumping you guys up, and because I'm very passionate about the people that I like in the community, in the house music community, and it doesn't matter any genre of music. And you know, I do it because not for my ability to grow, but I like to grow with everybody. So, you know, as you grow, I like to grow with you guys and say that, hey, you know what? I had these beautiful twins on my stream like years ago, and now, you know, I'm seeing them doing this, and then they're at a festival, or now they're in fucking Canada, you know, I know them, you know, that's, you know, you want to grow with everybody and be part of the community.
Industry unfortunately, some people don't think like that. They're very much to themselves, but we're all for that. Everybody's in it together,
helping people,
you know,
coming together, and at the end of the
giving
day,
opportunities to everybody that comes.
We're all in it for the music.
Yeah,
we all love the music. So.
100%, and that's where the direction I was going to go with, is to be, you know, as a community, and we form as a community, we grow as a community. There are a lot of, you know, haters. There's a lot of jealous people out there, and just people who are just focused on themselves. And those are the people, to me, you know what, that's short term. If they're going to be like that, fuck, they won't last that long in this world, you know.
Not at all.
No, not at all. And now, are you guys experiencing any of that sort of negative side?
We actually did during
a little bit during lockdown, because it's a very easy, you're easy target, aren't you? People were all on their phones. Everybody was very much connected.
Keyboard warriors. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and us, you know, a lot of the time it was actually, they'd write something like,
they've got the sync button on or something.
They're not DJing, they're just pressing buttons. And, well, essentially we are just pressing buttons, but it sounds smooth and it sounds great. So, and
we 100% weren't using sync. It was things like that, just silly things.
To be honest, it never got under our skin.
Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't happen as much as we thought it would, seeing as we were exposing ourselves all the time online.
You see it now with really, really big time DJs, and you see all sorts of people writing stuff about it, and some people let it get to them, and I think that's what they want. They want it to get to you, and just
rise above it and play your music and be yourself.
Just
awesome.
Good. Yeah.
I love your attitude. Love the attitude. You know, need that, where it's like, fuck what they're saying. Yeah. Who gives a shit? You know?
Yeah.
You know, and I say to them, I say to everybody that's on my show and people online, it's like, you know, they look for the fuel to throw on the fire. So you coming back with comments saying, you know, no, we're not, or fuck you, or they want that.
Not respond at all.
Yeah, we just ignore it.
Exactly.
Respond to the people that support you. I mean, we are constantly writing back. You know, private messaging. We never leave a comment untouched unless it's a negative one, and then you just don't even like it.
Don't bother.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just you know, okay, next, whatever. And what I like about it is the fact is that they actually took the time to listen to you and watch you play.
Really?
And so if they're going to do that, I would, you know, in yourself, you'd say, you know what? I love this hater because they took the time to listen to us.
They
listen to my music.
At some point,
you know, or they listen to this podcast and they write down, oh, you know, like you'll get, I mean, I really don't care what they say. It doesn't bother me at all. And even if I'm playing music sets and you know, there's always that one person, and you know, hey, who cares? You know what? And that's the thing. I always like to find out through my guests on, you know, how they deal with what's so called the haters or the people like that. So I love it that you've got that you just say, you know what, forget it. Who cares?
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm sure we're not even at the point yet. It will get worse. I'm sure, but it won't ever get to us.
Like with anything, the bigger you get, the more eyes you've got on you. It's natural for you to have a divide.
You're putting
people
yourself
that love you, people that don't like you. So we're ready for it. Come at us.
Yeah.
And I think by that time, you'll have someone who's going to run your PR, run your social media, so they will handle it.
Don't even know. And then two of us as well, so hopefully we're a little bit more scary than just one.
you just said
that scary though.
Yeah, no, not at all. You just gotta focus on your music, because you don't want to be out of focus on what you're doing and letting that shit bother you, because it's gonna destroy your business if you let that bother you.
Your mindset and your production. I can imagine in production, particularly, if you get somebody tell you that track's rubbish, or you've spent hours on it. It's very demotivating. I can't imagine some people would just be like, oh, how can I? One person said something, how can I ever get back in the studio? And you can't let that happen. You'll never succeed.
Right. No. It's one person. Who gives a shit out of thousands that yeah, for sure. So you know what? It just mixes up a little bit of. It adds a little spice to your life in the music industry or in anything, right? For sure. Now, what's your favorite go-to drink?
Oh gosh, that's it. I mean, we drank a lot of gin. That's where we drank a lot of alcohol. A lot more than we would usually, like every weekend. Gin, which we've probably put ourselves off now because we drank so much of it. But we do like a good pumpkin spice rum. Bit of rum, yeah.
Okay, all right. Like spicy rum?
Yes, yeah, spicy rum.
Okay. Let me see. I have this rum, and it's a Canadian-based rum. It's a friend of mine who's a distillery. It's called Island Diaz, and it's a beautiful spicy rum. When you're here, I'll have a couple of bottles for you guys. So,
lovely. God, that's an excuse to come. You're
alcohol, yes. So spicy rum for you, and I mean gin. I mean even just a lager, a good old pint. We do. Cold beer drinking. We're more beer drinkers than wine drinkers. Okay.
That's for sure. You'll find us in a beer garden at points throughout the summer drinking cold beers.
Right. Love it.
Generally, when we play our sets, we have beers as well. We do like a bottle of beer or a pint.
Oh, that's great. That's great. We have a ton of like small breweries, independent breweries, and man, they make some great beers. And whether we're doing doing a nice little set, house music set there at the beer garden or a brewery, it's like there's so many out there, and it's like I love a good beer.
It's like a Belgian beer actually, or ales. Love a bit of ale. There's a place in Norwich that do. It's called the Belgian Monk, and they do, because the beer is so strong. You only ever get half sort of pints of it.
Oh, really?
It's beautiful beer. It's very nice. Yeah. So if you ever come over, we'll take that.
Done. I'm in. I'm in. I do plan on coming over, to the UK. Haven't been. We want to travel a bit more. Like we've been to. I mean, I say we as a family been to Portugal. My wife, she's Portuguese, so we went to Portugal. Okay. I'm Italian, so I have not been back to Italy at all, which I wanted to go. So traveling to the UK. Definitely, we're gonna do that, right. and I'll definitely we all are gonna hook up, and we'll
100%. Love to.
Yeah, for sure. And do you guys have like a sweet tooth? Any sweets for that you're into?
God, we're not sweet tooth. We're much more savory girls. Yeah, our partner's a big ice lollies and things like that. Sweets. We're very much the savory. We love cooking. So
great. Okay.
We cook anything. And fruit. We're actually quite healthy. We are. We're actually we sound like we're alcoholics, but
I was never gonna say. I would never judge you guys saying you guys are fucking alcoholics, man. But like, no, I would never judge anybody like that at all.
Yeah, we're health. Yeah, we're very health conscious. Good. Yeah, you have to be in this industry because it's late nights. It's tiring on the body. And as much as we say, we drink, we actually make a conscious effort when we're gigging. We're always sober. I mean, normally one of us is driving, so most of the time we are generally sober, or had a couple, but never effortless, especially when we're performing. Yeah, right. We make a point of it.
I always like to have a couple drinks just to loosen me up a little bit before the set. The anxiety, that helps your anxiety a little bit, and when you do play, so when you start getting into more of the gigs, on your gigs, you talked about planning your set. So every gig, do you sort of plan the vibe a bit, or get sort of
because we get a lot of different gigs. We get a lot of either house, like vocal house, or we get not as much deep house, but we'll get vocal house, tech house, or minimal tech. So generally it does need a little bit of planning, just because we have so much music,
thousands of tracks.
We're always very conscious that we want to get it right for the promoter, get it right for the crowd. But we normally get a playlist of the night, and then we just put in, double, triple the amount of music.
Twice as many tracks, so that you've got plenty to kind of go off. And
I've
been known to sort of
come out of there
completely realise after the first couple of tracks it's not working. So we come out.
Yeah.
So we're sort of
we just like to know the music that we're playing. I think it works.
We have done gigs where we've just gone in completely blind, and we realise it works better where we've planned it a little bit. Rather than
just due to the sheer amount of music that we actually have on the USB stick, and it is put into folders, but
those folders are sort of diverse.
House music as a whole is so diverse.
Oh, it's diverse, for sure. And I've seen and talked to people who've said that they've gone to gigs with their stick, and it's like they just had enough music to play for their set, but they didn't realize that sometimes the other DJ might not show up in time, and all of a sudden you run out of music. You should have more music on hand, or if it's not working for the crowd, let me change up a little bit.
Change it up. We're always changing it up. You have to read the crowd. It's something
we actually love. We've got sort of all of our live streams sets sort of planned on there, so it's great. If we ever sort of need more music, you just go onto lockdown, and there's about 40-50 sets that we know kind of work for the vibe.
Of all the different types of vibes that we got asked for, the different nights and the different days and stuff, and it's all just like 30-40 tracks of that type of music. So
really good.
Right. Excellent. That's awesome. That's really good.
I mean, Jackman Jones, we use his Groove Station ones that we did for him. We use his as
big
well.
Up to Jackman. He's he's a good friend of mine, and he's been on my show a few times. He came out with quite a few tracks.
Doing really well.
Yeah, he's doing very well. So I'm happy you're supporting Canadian tracks and your sets, which is great. Any US DJs or any US producers that you've used their tracks a lot of in your sets?
I'm sure there is.
I mean, we're using a lot of promos at the moment as well. I think some of them are from the States.
But
I just don't.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. I just don't know, a lot of the UK DJs or producers, and I'm sure there's a lot, just like, because I threw that at you blind because of the fact that, there's thousands of DJs in the US, there's thousands in Canada, there's tons in the UK. So nobody knows everybody. And it's
very
great
hard to know everybody.
It is.
But it's great to have someone's track that you don't know, and you're like, man, that rocks, man. I fucking take that, So, so there's still so much. There's still so many untouched DJs and producers out there.
Which is why we like to get promos. People send us music. We're on a promo sort of website where we go on and we look at all the different genres and stuff.
And we often spend our days sort of just around the house, but with music on, hunting for DJs that we've never ever heard of, producers that we've never heard of. And it's the best feeling in the world when you suddenly find.
I mean, sometimes you can't even pronounce their names. And they've only done like one song or something, but that song was good.
Or they've got 100 followers on Instagram. They're obviously not, they've produced an amazing track, but they're not big on their socials.
They're not big, and that's okay. Okay. You don't have to have a bazillion followers to be good.
You don't. You really don't.
No, that's great. In the future, what's your plans? Let's say, I mean, I know no one's going to foresee what we're going to be like in the future, but I would say the next, I would say next couple of years, what are your plans?
So plans are to be producing tracks
and get on some good labels, get known for our music that we're producing as well as the music that we're playing out.
That's a massive goal. You know, we want to do some international stuff. We our plan at the start of last year was to get out of Norwich and go to London, and very quickly
that happened extremely quickly.
We're now booked in London for a lot at the minute. We're driving more to London than we are to Norwich, so
it's 3 hours away for us. So it's we're doing a lot of driving. Yeah, a lot of driving.
It's fine. There's 2 of us. We take it in turns.
Exactly.
So our plan is to kind of branch out. Go, you know, we really want to go to Ibiza and DJ there, and just branch out as much as we can.
Keep getting our music out there.
Right. Yeah. That is a number one thing, is just keep getting your music out there, because the music, the more your music's out there, the more that it's going to get attracted by somebody that's going to say, "Hey, come to Ibiza with us." Or do this, it's just talking to the right people and putting your music out there and just network, fucking network yourself to up the wazoo. You have to, right?
A lot of another thing with us is that we're trying to go to parties that we're not playing at. That's a big thing. Because a lot of the time you just DJ, you're very much, you. It's you're trying to think about yourself.
If you're playing,
and so we're trying to support other nights. Get there, just get people to know us. Support their music because we love it, and
be there.
That's all part of networking as well.
Yeah. Well, you definitely do have it going for you, because I mean, the presence of the twins, that definitely, people understand that, and they're like, "Oh, I know you guys. I've seen you on social media." So it's kind of a good feeling just to, being approached that way, saying, "Oh, I love your music. I love what you guys are doing." And this is great. I mean, I'm really happy for you guys, and
thank you very much.
And I can definitely see you guys moving, really climbing up that ladder in the production side as well as the house music side, and we'll get you guys over. We plan on doing the Canadian festival here and I'm obviously going to invite you guys, as well as we want to be, in Ibiza, with, a bunch of DJs that we want to bring over and have,
amazing.
Have a party there, or do something like I have a European agent that she's out there, and she says, you know what? A lot of the big venues that are there in Ibiza is, they have like big name, the TSOs, the Armin Van Buuren's, it just costs so much for someone to go there to listen to music and have a drink. They could spend up to $1,000, let's say, in an event, and it's right. So what I'm trying to get is that she is actually booking, and not in a bad way, but she's booking not like, just like non-popular DJs, more local, because obviously we are going to be cheaper than the big high-priced DJs. Like, I love Carl Cox, I respect him very much. Louis Vega, Morales, like all those guys, I love them very much. But we're not we always love the money side of it, but if we go in there and the money is great, everything is there, and at least it's affordable for the patrons to come in and enjoy a drink and great music. That's what we're trying to bring out back we want to bring to Ibiza, right? And not give away our services. Obviously we're going to get paid for it, but as a business, but
just affordable prices. You actually go to Ibiza now, and it puts you off because you come away just like
bankrupt.
I can't believe how much you've seen all these amazing DJs. Is it really necessary to charge?
It's getting more and more expensive, isn't it? That's the thing. It's not getting any cheaper.
Drink at a bar, you've already paid €60 to get into the nightclub. It's crazy. So I think there's a gap in the
slightly smaller, local, intimate ones that aren't going to be as expensive. I mean, even just like small venues in London and stuff. Are the way forward. Really, they're just at the moment. I think post-COVID, it's hard to get people to buy tickets for these things. I think promoters are really struggling with that after COVID.
Yep, just it made a mess. It made a mess of the. Yeah, like everything's went up. The economy on that side of things of ticket sales and drinks and food. Food has gone up like crazy amount of money, So, not and I just want to just basically have that ability to, I told her out there, I said, listen, there are beach parties for like 1,000 people that are great for a few DJs to play. There's like a boat party for like, 500 to 700 people that are great for a few DJs. So that's where I want to see a lot of, DJs play. Yeah, we love the big festivals. I get that. Yeah. But you know what? You get such a fucking good vibe when you're playing for, people that are just, my God,
That's what people do actually want. They want a slightly cheaper, slightly more affordable, good party with amazing music.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not that difficult to do.
No, it's not. And it's not a bad way where they're not going to make, everyone's going to have a bit of money in their pocket afterwards, which is great, but you're going to come back. Yes. You're going to come back more often. And that's what it's about too, right?
Definitely.
This is great.
Really
this is awesome, man. I thank you guys so much for being on my show.
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely.
I hope it was a lot of fun. I hope it was a lot of fun for you guys.
It was great.
We really loved it. Taste of Canada as well.
Yes. Definitely when you come down here, there'll be a lot of tasting of a lot of foods and wines and so
drinks and food.
But you know what? The number one thing is we have amazing people here that'll embrace you. So it's not you have nothing to worry about when you guys come over. You guys are in great hands. So, and I'm sure vice versa when we come over. So
yes, definitely. We're looking forward to your trip to the UK.
Yes, definitely. Now how far? So you're about 3 hours from London, right?
About two and a half,
3 hours.
Central. Yeah.
Okay, because we're going to be flying into the UK. We're going into in the next couple of years. We're going to Madeira, which is in a small little island in the ocean there. But it's we're going to fly into the UK first and stay a day or two there, and then fly into the island. So.
Well, we'll come down. We'll drive and see you. We'll come to London. It's not. Awesome. We do it a lot for gigs. It's not a big deal for us.
Well, we time it right where you guys are at a gig, and whatever it may be. So we'll definitely keep in touch as we roll along for sure.
Lovely.
But listen, this is great. I mean, I'm happy you guys are here. I love talking to amazing, talented DJs and producers, or just people like entrepreneurs, musical entrepreneurs, and sharing their journey. That's what it's all about, you guys. It's just more of like, people want to know what you're like, what you've been through, what you've done. And yes, we can talk for hours, but you know what, you guys, I think we touched on a lot of good subjects about you guys. And if there's anything that you want to share, you want to put a plug out, you want to do something, by all means, doesn't bother me at all.
Just follow us on our socials. We're basically Hansel Gretel on all socials: Instagram, Facebook, Mixcloud. We've got SoundCloud as well.
We've got a lot of mixes, including all of our live streams up on Facebook and Mixcloud. So if people want to hear our sound,
they can.
Then go for it.
I'm going to put the links up on the podcast at the end, and as well as I'll pump you guys up and it'd be great.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I wish you nothing but huge success in your future and family and music and everybody. So I wish nothing but the best. Good luck tonight in your gig. You got a gig tonight, your Halloween gig.
A sold out gig. Norwich gig. It's going to be a couple of hundred, but it's a small venue.
That's perfect. So a couple hundred is still big.
It is.
It is.
I think they sold 300, maybe.
300. 4 different rooms, all playing house, but slightly different genres. And we're in like quite a cool little intimate
square box room with a slightly lowered ceiling, isn't it?
It's just going to be perfect for our music. So
Oh, that is amazing. Well, I'm very happy for you, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And, so listen, thank you everyone to be tuning into the podcast, the Noisy Chair podcast. And we're all about sharing the musical journey of our artists and their business and life around it all. And I think we got it. Hansel and Gretel, you guys are amazing, and I wish you nothing but the best. And good luck to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Guys, we'll talk to you soon. And thanks for tuning, everybody, and we'll see you next time.